The world is absolutely healing. This shoe, the Jordan 4 Armour Maniere, sat and sat and sat even after releasing on Armour Maniere's website as well as sneakers. It was pretty easy to get. I think most people that wanted this shoe were able to grab them. I know there are bigfooters with like size 14 feet or whatever that probably may have missed out on, but just generally speaking, compared to a lot of very popular Armour Maniere Jordan collaborations, especially on the Jordan 4, I was very surprised that these didn't sell out like instantly. So what a time to be alive. And I finally have them in hand. Took a while, there were a few delays in shipping, but they are here. Here we go. Armour Maniere Air Jordan 4 while you were sleeping. Now this shoe dropped all the way back on September 20th for $225 as a woman's exclusive. This is part of a wider collection called the While You Were Sleeping capsule, and that is meant to celebrate Armour Maniere's 10th year anniversary. Now there's actually going to be a short film that actually is releasing in theaters as part of this entire collection. Now that film is going to feature creators and also tell the backstory behind the Creative Resource Agency. And I'll just read directly from Armour Maniere's website. The Creative Resource Agency actualized the concept of a black tax on minority creatives around the world. So stay tuned for that. Just like all of the collaborations, it's very, very thought out. The storytelling is insane. And this is one pair out of that collection. The others are like the Jordan 3s that I reviewed, the Jordan 39s, which I've also reviewed. There's an Air Max 95 coming up, an Air Force One that I'm very, very excited about, as well as a Converse Weapon, another one that I'm pretty excited about. Looking forward to those releasing. And now first impressions of this Jordan 4 while you were sleeping. Oh, it is good. I'll be honest though. When photos of this first came out, I was like giddy. The photos just look so good. But then seeing these in person, I still think it is nearly perfect for me. I love the colors and I love the Jordan 4, of course. I think most people do, but I don't know, the shade of this color, this burgundy crush is maybe, I don't know what the word is, maybe lighter or just a little different than I thought, judging from images. I thought I would like this one much more than the previous Jordan 4, but actually in hand, I don't know. I'll think about that one. At the end of this video, I'm going to decide, but I'm going to think about that one. Now in terms of the materials on the shoe, there's several things going on. So on the base layer, you get this very nice nubuck. Oh, it is nice to the touch. And it's not like super thin. You can feel and see like the thickness of the leather. I like that. And then on the mudguard area, you get this hairy suede. Now, I think it is pretty nice hairy suede. However, aesthetically, I don't love that hairy type of look. I prefer like a more plush and smoother type of suede. But in terms of overall materials, this is nice. Armour Maniere collaborations usually come with really nice materials, and they better because they usually come for $225, more expensive than a regular general release. And then moving up the tongue, you get the same type of burgundy, light purple color for the laces out of the box. This shoe does come with 2 extra set of laces. So one white set of laces, which I think will really make this shoe pop. Another one in this pea stain yellow that matches the sole of the shoe, which I'll get to later. I'm not a huge fan of that one on this shoe. I think on the Jordan 5 collaborations, they actually look pretty nice. But for these, I think the white laces actually look the best out of the 3 laces. The ones out of the box, this light purple one, burgundy color, that looks pretty good as well. But yeah, for me, probably the white. And then at the top of the tongue, you do see mismatched branding. So on one tongue, you get this Armour Maniere logo, and that is actually like an extra piece on top. It's not like debossed, embossed, or stitched. And then on the other shoe, of course, it's Jumpman branding instead, and it's a Fly logo patch. The Fly concept was introduced on the Jordan 4s. And another thing that was introduced on the Jordan 4 is the upside down tag that's inside the tongue. So this one actually says Armour Maniere on one shoe, upside down, and Air Jordan on the other shoe. Now moving on to the booty of the shoe, you get special treatment for Armour Maniere shoes. This is not an OG colorway, it is a collaboration, but they still get Nike Air branding. So non-OGs usually come with a Jumpman on the back, and this booty tab is actually quite flexible, but not as soft as the Jordan 4 SB Pine Greens that was like just straight rubber. I don't really have a preference in terms of the stiffness of the booty tab. So yeah, whatever goes. So on the past Jordan 4 booty tab, when you flip it down, you actually see like messages in there. Same with the recent Jordan 3 Armour Manieres. This one, Nothing. Maybe they just didn't have a message for us, or they like ran out of things to say, but yeah, kind of surprised at that one. Now this shoe, just like the most recent Jordan 3 collab, this comes with a hang tag or a keychain, whatever you want to call it, Nike Air hang tag, as well as this cardboard piece and this tag that says quality goods, handled with care, inspired by street culture, fashion, and the greatest athlete in history. And then Michael Jordan's signature underneath, just in case you are ever in doubt who the greatest athlete in history is. Now, of course, because it is Arma Maniere, the details are immaculate. Inside the tongue, the stitching is in Arma Maniere branding, as well as the insole, that is also branded. And once you take the insole out, just like the Jordan 3s, you'll see that while you were sleeping message. And of course, it is a Jordan 4. One of the most distinct things about the Jordan 4 is that netting, and you'll see behind the netting, that is Arma Maniere branding as well. And you also see that on the material, on the tongue, right behind that netting. Yeah, so just the details are insane. If you don't like pay attention to it, you might miss it, but because it is Arma Maniere, you have to pay attention. Also very distinct about the Jordan 4 is of course the wings. They didn't like change the materials up on this. It's like plastic wings over here, so nothing too different. And then on the ankle collar, you'll see it is kilted, so that gives it a more elevated and kind of elegant vibe. Now, if you're into that, you're gonna love this. I don't really have a preference. I don't know. The more I look at this kilted lining, the more I kind of prefer just a general ankle collar, but not a huge deal breaker. Now, the Jordan 4s comes with a polyurethane midsole with a Nike Air unit on the heel, of course a visible one, as well as a Nike Air unit on the forefoot. The sole, unfortunately, but not unexpected, because a lot of Arma Maniere Jordan brand collabs do use this kind of yellow sail, very pre-aged sole color, which I don't love. I think they go too far with this pre-aged look. It's too yellow. Maybe a very light shade of sail looks better, but yeah, that's one gripe I have with their collaborations. Just lighten the yellow a little bit. And then the outsole of the shoe, a beautiful Jordan 4 rubber outsole with Nike on the cutout. Again, Arma Maniere gets special treatment. It's not an OG colorway, but they get Nike branding on the outsole instead of a Jumpman there. Gorgeous. If it was white, even more gorgeous. And the insole of the shoe, Arma Maniere stitching, and it is a beautiful polyurethane insole. Molds to your feet, the more you wear them. Arma Maniere collaboration, good insoles, kind of expected. And the box of the shoe, this entire collection has come with this crazy box that opens this way. You got like an Arma Maniere lid, and this very elegant looking cloth in the box. And inside the box even, you get Arma Maniere branding. Now moving on to sizing and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer for Jordan 4s. Well, most recent releases, I've gone true to size, it works fine. In the past 2 or 3 years before this, some Jordan 4s did come like smaller, so I had to go up half a size so my pinky toe area wouldn't get strangled and wouldn't die as a wide and flat footer. But every Jordan 4 release this year, off the top of my head, I have gone true to size and they worked fine. I know for the previous Jordan 4 Arma Maniere collab, that actually had a lot of people complaining about how snug the shoe is. With this, true to size fits me pretty well width-wise. There was no like pinky toe, SOS, I'm gonna die problems here. So whether or not you have wide feet, I would say stick true to size is my recommendation. Now in terms of overall comfort though, Jordan 4s are not known to be the most comfortable Jordan brand shoe. The SB Pine Greens were an exception. They changed up the tooling for that shoe. The Bread Reimagined were pretty comfortable. This shoe though, feel like does feel kind of stiff out of the box, and that's because this material is pretty thick, but once you break this kind of thicker leather in, that should go away. But on feet, like around the toe box area, I don't know, I just feel like it was kind of boxy, kind of clunky. Did not love the comfort of this shoe. The polyurethane insoles do help a little bit, but overall I think the snugness and padding like inside this shoe, yeah, just not as good. Just not as good. Now that brings the total sole score of the Arma Maniere Air Jordan 4 while you were sleeping to 39 out of 50. Pretty high score compared to other collaborations. Now first to this colorway, I think this is a very unique and very elegant looking colorway. I will say, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's slightly different than I expected. Still very nice, but not as nice or as elite as I thought. So I'm going to give this colorway an 8 out of 10. I really, really, really like it, but it's not up there with like legendary status for me. And in terms of the materials, not surprised for an Arma Maniere shoe. Very nice materials. Love the nubuck on the shoe. Personally, I don't love hairy suede. But that hairy suede, if you're into it, this does feel very nice to the touch. It's pretty thick leather too. Might be harder to break in than like very soft leather, but thick leather is a good thing. Thick leather is a good thing. The materials on the shoe, very good. And in terms of the comfort of the shoe, Jordan 4s have never been known to be very comfortable. I think the Bread Reimagined as well as the Jordan 4 SB Pine Greens were very comfortable. But this shoe, for me anyway, for my wide and flat feet, kind of reverted to like old Jordan 4s where maybe it wasn't as stiff and as boxy as some awful releases like the Jordan 4 Midnight Navy. That was just concrete on feet. It wasn't as bad as that, but just on the feet, around your toe box area, yeah, just not the most comfortable. It also feels pretty clunky, even though it is technically lighter than a Jordan 3. I know sometimes different materials make the weight slightly different, but officially, the Jordan 4s are a bit lighter than Jordan 3s. Overall, very average in terms of comfort. And in terms of the versatility of the shoe, I think the Jordan 4s are super wearable. Maybe the most wearable after the Jordan 1s. Jordan 3s maybe as well. Right up there. Top 3 of Jordan Retros. But in terms of the wearability of the colorway, it is different. It is quite different. Basically like a light purple, which isn't everyone's thing. So it's not like a white-based sneaker, which is arguably the most wearable type of colorway. But yeah, if you're a little bit more adventurous and you're willing to wear a color that's not super standard, still very wearable to you, but in general, objectively, there are definitely more versatile colorways than this one. And in terms of the storytelling, absolutely no surprises. It is an Arma Maniere shoe after all. They always do such a great job with storytelling. The details on the shoe are insane. Under the insoles, there are branding stitched on the insole itself, as well as behind the tongue, behind the netting of the Jordan 4s. Yeah, everything about it just really well done. Now, as much as I love this shoe, I think it's really, really nice. Do I like it as much as the previous Jordan 4 Arma Maniere collab? I think just doing a side-by-side comparison, I will say, I still think I gotta go with this one. It was hard and it's close, but something about darker colors just gets me. It really does. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole and Blind. Let me know what you think of the Arma Maniere Air Jordan 4 while you were sleeping. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.